my most marvelous apprentice. It's good to see you've made it safely to Alderaan. It really is a wonderful world, so rich in history. It's a shame you won't have time to visit the libraries.
Is there a point in all of this?
Your eagerness is welcome, apprentice, but it's important to know what you'll step into when you leave that ship. Alderaan is a planet in the throes of civil strife. A usurper sits on the throne and all of Alderaan's nobles make war. Your artifact was discovered by the Jedi Order years ago, and given to one of Alderaan's noble houses. I don't know which one.
I guess I'd better start asking then.
House Thule is allied with the Empire. Their young leader, Alana Thule, is eager to help you. Go to House Thule and speak with her. Hopefully with her aid, you can reclaim the missing artifact.
Greetings, my lord. I bring the good wishes of Moff Sarek, the officer entrusted with annexing this planet. He has been anticipating your arrival.
Fill me in on the situation.
I would not presume to answer that. The Moff can explain to you himself.
Good day, my lord. It will well serve the aims of the Empire to have so accomplished a Sith on this planet. I expect to care little for the niceties of politics here, so I will be brief. The Empire intends to use Alderaan's succession struggle to bring it into the fold, and I'm offering you the opportunity to play a pivotal role.
I'll need details before I put my neck on the line.
The heir to Alderaan's throne was recently assassinated, right after withdrawing from the protection of the Republic. The planet's in civil war, and for the first time in thousands of years, without the armies of the Republic to bring order.
That's a long time. Has the Republic really given them up?
The Republic has its proxies here, as we have ours. We have allied ourselves with House Thule. The House was exiled 60 years ago after a failed bid for power, and came to us instead. Unfortunately, they have proven too weak to do what's needed.
What do you want me to do?
Jorad, one of the Thule Lords, insists on following Alderaan's rules of civilized warfare. I want you to show him warfare is far from civil. Several of Thule's vassal houses have rebelled since Thule's connection to us became public. This cannot be allowed. Take a slave collar from my man here and drag one of these rebels to our weak-willed Lord Thule. Kill the rest and leave them where they fall.
Why didn't you say so sooner?
These lords of Alderaan must lose their foolish pride. Those who will not bow must break.
Save his lake.
Crymar? Is that Crymar Novan? That's a free nobleman of Alderaan. Unhand him. Who are you? What's this about?
If you are to join the Empire, you should take more care to recognize those in power.
My lord.
All of Alderaan will be thrown into chains because of you.
Oh, silent slave. The sooner you see reason, the easier it'll be.
I've said before that being too harsh might stir greater rebellion, though, of course, that's up to you.
I believe that is up to me.
Sir.
This spineless toad will make a poor lord of Alderaan.
Yes, it will take work to shape him. I hope you will undertake this for me. I would like to make you the voice of the Empire in House Thul. Aid Jorad and his men in crushing resistance to our rule. Obey her as you would me, and with the same penalty for defiance. Tell her what must be done to secure Thul's hold on Alderaan.
Yes, sir. My lady.
What's the next move?
I suppose the Moff expects us to take on House Organa. They're one of our oldest noble houses and loyal to the Republic. Until recently, they've been without an army, but they've got supporters all over the planet, including here.
You'll never find them. They've got top-of-the-line cloaking, better than anything the Empire makes. No probes will get through, no spy sats, nothing.
Do you really want to find out what happens if you don't tell me where they are?
I don't know. Do you think we didn't anticipate this? We know what sort of monsters they breed in your empire. I don't know anything that you could torture out of me.
House Organa denied raising an army, claiming it's just patriots defending their lands. But their attacks are too organized. We'll never find every group. We need to get inside their planet-wide communications, and that means finding a base with a physical link to slice into.
Just show me where the fun is.
The Organa guerrillas have a base hidden in some cave or other natural camouflage. There should be a master comlink there, guarded by their best soldiers. If you insert this computer spike, it'll give us a backdoor into all their communications.
Once we can hear them, there's nowhere on this world they'll be safe.
House Organa will not make another move without us knowing.
My lady, this must be the Sith we've been expecting. I can feel her power.
Welcome, Sith. I'm sorry for the chaos. Alderaan is on the brink of civil war, but House Thul owes the Empire so much.
What did the Empire do for you?
Before I was born, House Thul was accused of conspiring to steal the throne. We were disgraced and driven off Alderaan. The Empire gave us a home in exile and helped restore us to our rightful place on Alderaan. But our history can hardly be of interest to you. Darth Zash mentioned you're after a certain artifact. Am I correct?
You've heard correctly.
Excellent. Then I should be able to help you quite a bit. Allow me to introduce Morin. He's my personal Sith guard. He did some preliminary investigation after Darth Zash called.
Charmed to meet such a renowned and beautiful Sith. I began my research on a hunch House Organa close to ties with the Jedi. We captured and chatted with a Chamberlain of House Organa.
He confirmed that Organa holds the artifact, and that it is kept in their private vault in the Elysium.
How dare you torture someone without me?
Apologies. I will be sure to bring you in on the fun next time.
Unfortunately, the Elysium is sealed tight, and the key is held by Nomar Organa, a powerful, revered, and insufferable Jedi Master. You are the only Sith on Alderaan who even stands a chance of defeating Nomar. We must bring him here.
Nomar Organa has a reputation for strength and power, but above all, for his principles. He is, by all accounts, the perfect Jedi, but everyone has weaknesses. Isn't that right?
Bring him here, and I'll twist his arm.
I suggest you start in the library of House Alder. They are devoted keepers of Alderaan's history. Personal connections, I think, would be most useful. Siblings he was particularly close to, childhood friends. But be careful. House Alder is a close ally of Organa. They're likely to attack anyone from Thule on sight.
Sith, it is an honor to meet you. Did I hear it right? Did Darth Zash really send you?
If you have a problem with Zash, you have a problem with me.
No problem. It's fantastic. You were part of that group of slaves they brought to the Academy for training, weren't you? They say it was you who killed Darth Scotia.
I've killed a lot of people.
Secretive, I see. Suit yourself, I didn't mean to pry. But if I were responsible for one of the biggest coups in recent Sith history, I'd want people to know.
It's enough for people to think they know.
Still, how did you do it?
I think that should stay my little secret.
I promise not to tell anyone, and I'm sure it's an impressive story.
I am an impressive person.
That much is certainly clear. I certainly hope we'll get a chance to know each other better. There are other Sith on Alderaan, but it's rare to get the time to just talk.
Perhaps because it's boring.
Well, I'm sorry then. I need to do some work for my lady right now. But in the meantime, good luck.
Impressive work. You can see we now have access to the Organa systems. They're all talking about the ruthlessness and brutality of the recent attack. They do train you Imperials well, don't they?
You just need to learn to deal.
Moff Sarek told me to respect you, not to submit to schoolyard taunts. Now that we can monitor the Organa's communications, it should be possible to...
Lord Thule, the base is under attack. Send aid quickly. Border Outpost 2 under attack. I repeat, under attack.
Perimeter defenses breached. We're under attack by assault droids. Repeat, a coordinated attack by probe and assault droids.
Blood of the Queen!
Sounds like you need a little Imperial support right now.
Yes. Show those backbiters that the Empire stands behind House Thule. The data says all 3 border posts are under attack. Looks like a coordinated effort. Hunter-killers and probes. All I've got out there is a skeleton crew. You're the only one close enough to reach them in time. Please, save my bases, and bring me the memory cores of any probes you destroy. I want to know who's behind this. Good luck.
I'll bring you the heads of those droids. And their master.
Thank you. Now hurry!
I cannot thank you enough for your quick work. I don't know what the Organas were after, but that attack was long in the planning.
It is foolishness to spread your troops so thin.
We have not had outright war on Alderaan for generations. Our tactics are somewhat rusty. Who's the source of these? What were they looking for? And quickly!
The programming signatures point to Lord Cedric Kilesa.
Lord Kilesa is my vassal. He swore loyalty to me personally when we returned from exile.
Don't be a fool.
The parameters indicate the probes were to join an assault team in a... My lord, this program indicates an assault team massing in a tunnel between here and the Kilesa estates. I don't find any such tunnel on the blueprint.
The siege tunnel! Blood of a queen! They're coming through the siege tunnel!
Those attacks were meant to draw your guards away from the palace.
The wretched traitor! That tunnel connects his lands directly to our estates. No one's used it in centuries, but the tunnel opens right under this room. What are we going to do?
Murder and mayhem await.
I would not have guessed your bloodlust would come in so handy. Moff Sarek gave us cartons of thermite explosives. They take time to set up, but they pack a punch. If you take them into the siege tunnel, you could collapse it on Cedric and his army. Seal the access, so they can't threaten us again.
You should have sealed it off the minute you went to war.
You have taught me the importance of taking action. There's an entrance to the tunnel nearby. The storeroom is in the same area. I'll recall my troops to defend the surface, but there's no doubt the real battle will be below. Thank you.
So, you're the Imperial puppet who taught Jorad Thul to bite instead of bark. Does he lick your hand? Fetch your slippers? Real Alderaanians will never bow to the likes of you.
Yield, and you may keep your title and your lands.
I would sooner see Alderaan blasted into space debris than given over to the Empire. You don't even have the guts to fight this yourself, instead of hiding behind a cart and a thermite. If you had a shred of decency, you'd settle this by an honorable duel. You against me.
This tunnel's coming down.
Even our ruins are more alive than your empire. Retreat!
The Kilesas just surrendered. My men are returning from the outpost to take them into custody. When they saw the tunnel explode around their lord, every man among them laid down their arms. I will tell Moff Sarek of your heroism immediately.
Take 10 heads for every one traitor, and they will not rebel again.
The Thals need not fear any further rebellion in their ranks. It would be a waste to keep one of our few Sith here any longer. General Stanul Thal is coordinating our efforts near House Ald. Speak to him if you'd like to take a further role in this conquest.
You have saved my house's dream of ruling our world, and taught me much about what that will mean. I will not forget.
Stanul Thul, I was told you want to see me?
Yes, Moff Sarek said you'd be here. We've had an inspection team lost to the Killiks for days now, advisors from Droman Khas. They were inspecting one of our mining sites for lanthanide deposits. But in the middle of their inspection, the entire place was overrun by Killiks. We've had no communication for days.
Who's that? Some other noble house?
Killiks are the native aliens here, giant bugs with just enough brains to hold a blaster. Moff Sarek wants this team back. Apparently some of them hold serious rank off-world, but the rest of House Thul is balking. Attacking these Killiks would take half our army, but apparently I'm too close to the problem to strategically assess its value.
You have some kind of personal stake in this?
Yes. I don't want you to think I'm asking for personal reasons, but my daughter was leading the inspection team. I don't know if she's alive or dead. If you can find her, find our advisors, free them if they're prisoners, I promise you a reward that will leave me bankrupt.
I will not let these aliens kill your daughter or the advisors.
Thank you. For myself, even more than for my house.
You have removed those who are not of the nest. Had they stayed, they would have learned the peace of the joining. We will not deny you your prize. But leave now. There has been a song of swarming. We have claimed these mines for the nest.
What exactly are you?
Once we were called Daria Thul. Now we are known as New Child of the Ukanuku Nest. We have tasted the gel and scented the egg chamber. We have joined.
So you're a Killik now?
There is peace in the nest, a love that comes of sharing one mind. It is a gift beyond measure. We will never return.
Am I supposed to care?
Here we are safe. Here we are at peace. Here we will stay.
Come with me, or die along with every Killik here. That's your only option.
No, we will never. We are hearing the voice of the nest. We have decided it is not worth many losses to save one. The nest has spoken. We will return.
Thank you. My medics are treating the inspection team for shock, but they seem otherwise unharmed. I wish I could say the same for my daughter. It is clear those monsters have drugged her, brainwashed her. I've heard of this, something in the pheromones that joins their captives to their hive mind.
Turn Thul's troops against the Killiks before they can destroy another mind.
You're right. What good is the throne of Alderaan if our world is first overrun by these bugs? They must be driven out. We should slaughter them until nothing but their mounds remain!
General Thul, excuse me. It is urgent I speak with my rescuer at once. I'm Agent Craig Graff, Imperial Intelligence. It was no accident those Killiks attacked when they did. The Ulgos pushed them toward that mine.
How did you know?
We've been monitoring communications between the Ulgo strike teams in that region. This was definitely planned. The push was orchestrated by the Ulgos to distract us from something they're calling Operation Sunshower.
You Alderaanians are entirely too cheerful.
I've heard that term. It's come up a few times in the chatter we're getting from our back door into the Organa networks.
It's a baradium detonator, a massive explosive. They plan to strike at the heart of Thul lands. The detonator's being transported by Boris Ulgo's elite soldiers, former Republic Special Forces, with the best weapons they could take and all the training the Republic gave them.
Murder and mayhem await.
Just before the Killiks arrived, we acquired a data file that I believe to be the launch codes for the detonator.
If you really wish to strike fear into the heart of the Ulgos, get into the camp where they're holding it and set it off prematurely. It won't be the full force of the weapon, but let it be Ulgo that perishes, not Thul. thank you. You are again Thul's savior, saving our lands from devastation and death.
The abilities of the Sith are truly beyond the capacity of the rest of us to understand.
It was actually quite simple.
Then we must bow to your skill even more, for it is more than any of our troops could do. With the Ulgos retreating, I can turn all my troops to rooting out the Killiks, to the last squirming lava.
My superiors have been asking about you. There is some intrigue happening with House Rist. Trouble for our allies. If you're interested, look for Dathis Elgin. Moff Sarek has already commended you to him.